Smiths. Big Mouth strikes again. My theme tune. Oh dear. You can't play Morrissey anymore because he votes the wrong way. How are you? I cleverly asked for some questions so we got something to talk about. Hello, got my IPAs back. Yeah. Oh, listen, I love lager. You know that. Um, uh, we've discussed this. There isn't really a drink that I wouldn't drink if it was the only drink that I could find. But I have grown fond of some things that are an acquired taste I didn't like at first, like some darker beers and sort of those nice micro brewery sort of beers. Uh, anyway, I like this one. Um, so yeah, some questions. Uh, Josephine Margaret asks, how do you stay connected with ordinary people in your writing when you live amongst celebrities? Wow, that's a good question, but I should say, one, I don't live amongst celebrities. I mean, I know some, but I don't live among. I make sure I don't. Um, how do I stay connected? Well, I can even say I don't stay connected, but I try to, and I take that as a compliment that I do stay connected with ordinary people. I mean, also you said so I do know some celebrities, but they're not all celebrities are out of touch wankers. Some are nice people. Some have always been nice. Some probably went through it and come out the other side. They might have been arseholes and now. So it depends. But I really don't think of my. I do not hang around with celebrities once or twice a year. Um, uh, I was famous late, which helps. So I knew who I was. I had all my, you know, priorities and values together. I mean, I imagine being famous at 18, how can you not be an arsehole? Um, so there's that. In fact, I feared being famous. I hated the term, I mean, it's still an awful term, celebrity, but I feared it because I didn't want to be lumped in with those people that do anything to be famous. So I was quite militant about it, that, I was famous for something. Fame was an upshot of what I did, writing and directing. Not going to premieres of films that I wasn't in, not doing every celebrity fucking game show on telly. Um, and yeah, I think that worked well. I didn't want anyone to think I signed that deal with the devil. Make me famous and you can go through my bins. So, I've always done this as a job to get a good lifestyle, which had nothing to do with that. But it is a very good question, because you have got to stay connected with ordinary things, ordinary people, everyday life. Otherwise, it's horrible. I mean, I've done things about fame, but they're usually spoofing it and damning it. It's about I have studied. The Office was sort of a study in fame, an ordinary person, from those quaint docu-soaps. But it was really about real people. My experience of working in an office for 10 years, that came first. And it was the vehicle for it, really, the fake documentary. And once people knew that David Brent was an ordinary guy who wanted to be famous because he thought it would make him happy, it comes to life. But you've got to try and keep low status. So, like in my new stand-up, I just don't talk about celebrity stuff much. I have to go back. I go back to childhood and school and family So people relate it. Thing is about comedy is, particularly in stand-up, you've got to try and keep your low status. We're court jesters. We're meant to be down in the mud with the other peasants, teasing the king. Not too much, so you don't get executed. So that's the idea. But of course, I also want to tell the truth. So I can't go up there and pretend I had a bad day signing on the tube, or they go, fuck off. You fucking got a limo here, you lying bastard. So I can't do that. So what I do is I invite them in behind the curtain. I go, right, I'll do it in two ways. One, I go, what do you think, it's all fun and games being, look at the shit things that still happen, you know. And two, I do it by talking about things where the audience is better off than me. They're not as fat and old and bald and angry as me. You know, I'm going to die before them. So that's why I embrace those sort of things, because you've got to try and, you can't be above it. You can't go out there. There's nothing more boring than telling someone what a great fucking day you've had. Oh, shut the fuck up. Those people that go, oh, this holiday was so much better than yours, keep it to yourself. So I hope that answers your question. Eric says, I've backed out of his surname, I'm afraid. There's way too many letters. You know he is when asked the question. Eric says, will the theatre be open in Toronto in August to come and see you? I don't think so. I think there's too many risk factors. And so the only one that I think I'm hoping will happen is the London run, but I don't know. But they won't be cancelled. I'll postpone them. I will do them, even if I have to do Afterlife 3 first and then come back to it. Yeah, what can you do? Danny says, will you joke about COVID in your new stand-up show? Oh, yeah, I'll have to, yeah, of course. But again, not too much. That'd be boring, wouldn't it? A show about COVID. I mean, think how many Edinburgh shows would be about my lockdown. Fucking novels, films, TV shows. Oh, God. People want to forget it. Fucking hell. But I'll have to mention it, because some of the stuff literally doesn't make sense that was up and running. Like I talk about something and they go, hold on, he's got to mention. So you have to adapt a little bit, but not much. No, it won't be a show about it. Crow Serenance, what a great name. Asks, what's the hardest thing you've gone through during the quarantine lockdown? Listen, I can't complain. I really haven't had a tough time compared to some. I've said it in every interview when they've said, oh, what's it like, what are you going? I go, listen, I'm not going to fucking complain when there's nurses who have done 14-hour shifts. So probably he's cancelling the gigs. That's the worst thing, isn't it? And that's not my inconvenience, really, is it? I feel more sorry for the people who've got to organise it, and I'm more worried about the people who are looking forward to it. I wasn't. Yeah, I was. Look, we do it when it's, but then nothing really. Being without Ollie, Ollie died like the week before lockdown, so that was sad. If you could, Andy Hughes, fuck me, how long have you got? If you could change anything about yourself, what would you change? Fucking hell, where do I start? I don't know. Reverse the fact that my eyelids are soon going to be just hanging over my eyes like testicles. So we've done that. More hair would be good, wouldn't it? Everything's tougher, isn't it? Just everything's harder when you're falling apart. I suppose seriously, just, be healthier, really. Uh, but I don't want to do it without changing anything. I wish beer and wine didn't have calories in it. It's just that. It's just hope, isn't it? Um, but yeah, you know, as I said before, the only reason I want to live longer is to drink more beer and wine. I do this thing now. If Jane says, "Oh, what are you doing today?" or "What are you doing tomorrow?" Right, planning something, I go, "I'll just continue in the quest for the perfect body." She goes, "Oh, okay." It wasn't funny the first time I said it, right? Things often aren't, but a staple of comedy is keep saying it until it is funny. I made that one up. That's not a rule of yeah, worked out today. And my technique now isn't like, well, that's this. I don't fucking diet ever. I try and beat the system, um, but I'll never be thin because I like food and drink too much. But I can, this is as good as it gets. I'm already doing like an hour a day now, just to stay like this. But you have to adapt. Like in Rocky Six, right? In Rocky Six, the trainer says to Rocky, he's fucking my age, I think, in his 50s. The trainer says, you're not young anymore. You're old. Uh, you haven't got any speed anymore. You've got no skill, right? You've got arthritis, right? All we can do is make some good old-fashioned hurting bombs. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm embracing my bulk and just doing the heavier weights. Oh God, you asked. Fuck off. Rupert, Rupert. Weather dog at Weather Dog 3. Rupert's a dog, right? Little fat Jack Russell. Not fat, it's glandular. He's got a few. Did you ever go? It's such a pest, this little twat. He's the one that looks like a little fat. He's like a carpet on top and sort of haggissy, uh, wobbly, like an udder underneath. It's like if someone got a big cow's udder, right? Massive cow's udder. Put some carpet on the top and like a little bit of coal for the nose, and then put a tiny hairy penis just halfway up it. That's Rupert the dog. Did you ever go sledging as a kid? No. Did you ever try to rotate 360 on a swing? No. It's impossible, isn't it? I think I probably did, yeah. And that coming backwards, that lovely feeling, like weightlessness for like a split second. Yeah, I definitely did. Yeah. Um, did you ever eat 10 pence mix-ups? And what was your favourite? We used to call them pick and mix, like from Woolworths. I always liked when I was a kid. Uh, I like licorice. I love licorice. Licorice comfits. I love. Bertie Bassett was a bit of a fucking hero of mine. I've got his shape. In fact, I said to Jane once, I said, "Do you think I look good in a hat?" She went, "You look like fucking Bertie Bassett." Fucking hell. That was going back to the first question. How do I stay grounded? That sort of shit. Um, yeah, I like Lucas. Now, when I was on the dole, me and Jane lived in a shitty little fucking flat in King's Cross. We couldn't afford anything. We used to go to Safeways, sometimes try and change we used to hang around there. Like our favourite thing was trying to get those things that were half price. and sometimes we change the prices on them to get the half price fucking horrible pies and shit. And I saw people trying the pick and mix. So I'd walk around sort of casually, like with a couple of things in the basket, and I tried the pick and mix, and I went for the chocolate Brazil nuts. Some days I reckon I could have about a tenner's worth. Like, and because I was fucking sick, just full of fucking chocolate Brazil nuts. You got to survive. You got to survive, kids. Can you do a series before Afterlife when Lisa was still alive, please? Thanks. Well, a prequel. The trouble with that is if I do that after this series, we'll look older in the prequel than we do in Afterlife, won't we? It won't work. We're like fucking Benjamin Button. But it's a nice idea. 2 other actors. What about 2 other actors playing this? Rupert could play little baby Auntie. The proportions would be all wrong. Just give a shout out to Esker Boxing Club, Ricky. Shout out to Esker Boxing Club. I've heard of them. They're good, I think. Can you offer some advice on script writing? Cool. I mean, it's got to be yours. It's got to be yours. You've got to learn it for yourself, really. But I mean, I suppose I would say write about things you know, things about you care about. Write about your own life or someone you know well. I mean, I sort of want to say don't listen to anyone, which sort of negates me telling you this. But just do it. You've got to do it. You sort of learn as you go along and you find out what works and what doesn't. And you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how so often people not knowing what to do, having no idea but just trying it, brings a refreshing new angle to stuff. And the people who know what they do and they're doing it by the book are just homogenised and safe. And there's 1,000 like them. You're a unique blend of inputs and values and passions. And if you do it for yourself and it's not by committee, you'll be surprised at how much higher the chances are for it to be original and not like anything else. Because committees homogenise things in a weird way. So I hope that, and there's no rush. There's no rush. Legend. That was Legend Eskimo Boy, by the way. Connor Sibley says, opinions on 12 Angry Men. Have you seen it? Is it good, bad, dated, a classic? Yep, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah. The movie, I think we're talking about, the black and white movie. I've seen it a few times. It's not dated, no, it's a classic. It's great as well because it's all about looking at the evidence. In fact, it's so fucking apt for today. So it's about a jury. I won't give it away, but it's a big court case, and there's a jury, and it's hot, and people want to get home, and there's a game on. Everyone just believes, he's guilty. Come on, let's just. And one guy, Henry Fonda, who just wants to do what's right, and he doesn't like him. He doesn't like him rushing and just to get home. It's a person's life, and he's calm, and he just looks. He looks at the evidence. Everyone's wanting to see what they want to see for their own benefit, just like today. People not looking at the evidence, just looking at what's good for me. People covering up evidence if it ruins their narrative. People fucking denying science these days because it doesn't fit into their narrative. Terrible. Just terrible. People creating a new dogma with its own fatwa, bullying people on Twitter because they think differently. Orwellian. Terrible. Oh, you've got me fucking started now. Oh God. And he's a hero. Because he's the least popular person in the fucking room. And he doesn't care. Because he's principled. It's, oh my God, it's so fucking good. Oh, it's so good. It's so apt for now. It is so apt for now. What's happening in the world. People not looking at the argument, just looking at who's saying it. People getting annoyed. Evident, the truth being inconvenient. Fucking brilliant. It's fucking brilliant. Does that answer your question? Good. Well, it was nearly a rant, but I held it back. And I made it about art, didn't I? And 12 Angry Men. Good. I'm going to miss these little chats. We'll do a few more, though. When the pub's open? We've done this, haven't we? I mean, never say never. But we'll do a few more anyway, and then we'll see. I'm busy, I should be writing. And you'll have things to do. You'll be off down the pub, won't you? But it's been great. Thanks for following. Stay sane. Follow the evidence. Be heard. Be truthful to yourself. Don't be bullied. Treat people with respect and compassion. Be kind to animals. That'll do, won't it? Yeah. And cheers. When should we do this again? What day is it? Sunday? Wednesday? Wednesday. Tatty bye, everyone. Tatty bye.